Opening question. We live in an age of speed. Information pours into us without pause. News, and still more news. The world demands constant availability, instant reaction, endless activity. And yet, why is it that with all these possibilities, we so often feel empty, overwhelmed, torn apart? More than 2,000 years ago, a group of philosophers asked the very same question. How can a person find peace when the world is restless? The Stoics gave a simple answer, not by mastering the world, but by mastering ourselves. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and philosopher, once wrote in his journal, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." But what does that mean for us today, in the 21st century, with smartphones, crises, artificial intelligence, and a life that never seems to stand still? Perhaps Stoic philosophy is not old and dusty, but more relevant than ever before. Poetic reflection. Sometimes in the evening, I sit in silence. My phone glows. The voices of the world remain loud, even though the sun has long since sunk. And I ask myself, am I free or am I trapped in the endless stream of impressions telling me who I should be, what I should buy, what I should feel? Then I picture Marcus Aurelius in his tent in the middle of war, writing only to himself, on patience, on calm, on the fleeting nature of all noise. His world was no quieter than ours, and yet he found words that still burn like a quiet flame today. The Stoics remind us of this truth. We cannot stop the waves, but we can learn how to sail. Maybe this is exactly what we lack today. Not more distraction, but more clarity. Not more speed, but more grounding. And in that grounding lies the possibility to discover peace in the midst of chaos.
Origins and core ideas. Stoic philosophy was born in Athens in the 3rd century BCE. Zeno of Citium taught in the Stoa Poikile, the painted porch, where people came not just to hear theories, but to learn an art of living. Its core ideas were simple, yet powerful. Control and non-control. We hold power over our thoughts, our choices, our virtue, but over fate, illness, chance, we hold no power. Virtue as the highest good, not wealth, not fame, but wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation make a life truly good. Living in harmony with nature, not against what is greater than us, but in flow with the order of the whole. The Stoics already knew happiness does not come from outer circumstances, but from the attitude we bring to them.
Why we need the Stoics today. In the 21st century, our chains are invisible. Not iron or walls confine us, but expectations, comparisons, digital dependencies. We chase approval in the form of clicks. We measure our worth in numbers. We lose ourselves in the noise of constant availability. And here, the Stoics prove timeless. When Seneca says, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality," he perfectly describes the culture of fear we live in, where worries loom larger than what actually happens. When Epictetus says, It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. It applies directly to social media, where we react not to facts, but to interpretations. When Marcus Aurelius reminds himself not to fall victim to the moods of others, it becomes an antidote to the endless comparisons that tear us apart. The Stoics do not offer escape, but a tool to remain clear in the midst of turbulence.
Stoic practices for here and now. The strength of Stoicism lies in practice. It is not abstract theory, but living exercises we can use today. Morning reflection on waking. Ask yourself, what might I face today? In this way, you are prepared, not surprised. Negative visualization. Imagine losing what you value most, not to be pessimistic, but to sharpen gratitude. The dichotomy of control. When stress arises, pause and ask, is this within my power? If yes, act. If no, let go. Evening self-review. Write down, what did I do well today? Where did I falter? Step by step, clarity grows. These practices make Stoicism a philosophy for daily life, not dusty, but alive.
Mirror of daily life.
At work, a deadline draws near. Panic spreads. But a Stoic asks, what is in my power right now? Not time itself, but how I choose to use it. In traffic, a driver cuts you off. Anger rises. But can you change their behavior? No, but you can keep your calm and give peace to yourself. In relationships, an argument flares. Old wounds resurface. But a Stoic asks, will my anger heal anything? Often true strength is to stay silent rather than wound. On social media, the likes don't come. A harsh comment cuts deep. But Epictetus would remind you, it is not in your power how others see you. Your worth does not depend on the judgments of strangers. And so we see, Stoicism is not some distant ideal, but a living tool to help us endure daily life. Quiet ending.
Perhaps Stoic philosophy does not answer every question, but it offers a mirror, showing us where our freedom truly begins. Not in the moment when the world finally falls silent, but in the moment we fall silent within ourselves. In the 21st century, amid technology, speed, and noise, this attitude is more relevant than ever. And so the question remains for you, where in your life are you fighting against things that are not in your control? And could you, even today, begin to let them go? Perhaps in that letting go lies the very freedom that Stoicism longs to give us.